Hello viewers, so back again for a little bonus stream just to finish off the evening and see if we can get anywhere in this final race. I haven't done any practice since that run I did earlier, but oh look, David Perel's in here. Goodness, that means I have next to no chance he's an alien. So we have an alien, a famous alien in the lobby. And I don't know if I'm going to stop this time, but I might see how it goes. I think in this particular car, my glasses keep steaming up. I might see how it goes. Wow, you watch David, he's going to be right near the top. So I already know he can go like 2 seconds quicker than me. Darn. You know, the other lobbies, I'd probably have been somewhere. 20 cars in this race. Oh, let's see, there won't be many of you watching because I know many people would have expected that I would have not done another stream, but I am here, so okay, here we go. Okay, let's see what we have here. Right, so no practice. This is going to be tough. Thanks. Thanks, Isa. All right. Thanks, SMB. Let's try a final race. Now we have an alien in the room, I've spotted, under an A tag, but he's actually an alien. That's David Perel. I know this because I watched some of his lap videos, and I've seen him do his lap video on this particular track, and he's very quick indeed. Very quick indeed. So watch David Perel, you to see him smash it. Let's just see. What we need is a better qualifying somewhere, not last. Oopsie daisy, everyone's going so fast, aren't they? Go on then. Oh, goodness me. Everyone's mucking around, aren't they? Right, let's hope that that little gap in front of us is enough to race into. I've got an SR down, but that's okay. We'll recover that in the race. Got a good gap there now, so let's drive into that. The guy behind me is way too close. He's probably going to overtake me because I can feel it. He's using my slipstream. Got it all wrong. Got it all wrong. Ah, damn. Damn. Messed all that up. Oh, well, we'll get another go in a moment, won't we? I'm really messing up badly. Let's go in the pits and see if we can get new tyres. I was on the wrong tyres. No wonder. That explains it, doesn't it? Completely the wrong tyres. I set it onto softs earlier and it's put me back on mediums again. No wonder I couldn't go into the corners correctly. That's better. I thought there's something wrong with the car. That's better. Wow, what a difference it makes when you're suddenly back on the softs. Okay, so let's see if I can get anywhere. I'm out of sync with everybody else now in terms of laps, so brake a bit earlier there. Alright, come on then, let's see if we can do a lap. Oh, that's our worst nightmare right there. Thank you. Just had to lift a bit to counterfeit all, but right. Nothing kind of went to plan for me then, did it? It's just like everything that could go wrong did go wrong there. Hello Memphis. This is not a direct drive wheel, no, this is a band wheel, but a very good wheel in that sense. Direct drive does have a certain solidity in terms of the force on it, which is slightly different. Just feels real, basically, a direct drive wheel. I don't think we'll have time to do another lap. Even if we do, our tyres are knackered now, so I don't think we can do better than we've already done. This car is very good through those twisty bits. So we've got one more lap now coming up, and we'll do our best. This is the CSL Elite. CSL Elite wheel. I've got the Club Sport base as well. Same thing. So obviously just cruise this lap really because we messed up at the beginning. Oh, I thought I was going to have one more lap, but I didn't. So it just hasn't happened. This David Burrell, I knew he'd be at the top. Crazy lap time. Damn, I thought I'd do better, actually. I'm a bit disappointed with my lap there, but then things were happening and... I just haven't managed to qualify well, have I? It's It's my lot in life not to qualify. Never mind. Never mind. It's worth running this one more time. We will see how we get on. And where are we? 12th? Oh dear. Look at that, you know, I had an extra half second. Well, I had a second in me and I did like 1.5 seconds faster earlier. Right. It's always different though when you haven't got things going on everywhere, cars bumping into you or other things. Oh well. It's not happening for me tonight, but I'll do my best again from 12th. Fortunately, that does mean that my chances of... Where do we think we can finish? I asked earlier. I think I'm going to finish 7th again. But it'll push. If I could do 6th, I'll be happy. But I don't know if I'm going to stop or not. Let's just check the tyres, because they're on the wrong tyres. Right, so that's what messed up my qualifying then, was basically wrong tyres for the first part, which kind of put me out of sync of my plan. So it was pretty close, wasn't it? I mean, look at that. I mean, I should have really been in the top 8. Oh well, it's one of those things. I will do my best to try and claw up. David Perel though, wow, he's a master at this track. That's an A+ superstar gamer tag right there. Between him and Key and Tidgney, these unstoppable guys. Oh, there we go. There we have it. So 12th on the grid. A real shame we're not sort of a bit higher. Better lap times were in me, and it just didn't happen, did it? So Radio Allen is taking a break for the moment, Mr. 30, but he will be back at some point. He'll be back at some point. I love some of the paint jobs on some of these cars. Really nice. Podium this time. No, that's flash it. You know what? Had I put in a lap like I did earlier, my 202, it would have put me on, I think, the second row, front row or second row, and I'd have been alright. I'm down in 12th place, so I'm right after that corner actually, so I'm actually quite happy. Here I am, I'll flash my headlights. I'm driving the standard BMW colours. It's Ben Green's birthday today. Happy birthday, Ben Green. 21 today. He won't be watching this, mind you. Taking it very, I take it deadly serious. Deadly serious, Mr. 30. There's serious races on this track. Serious now. You know, some of these guys are very good at the game. But we're in it to do well, aren't we? So, I mean, we're 12th out of 20. So, it looks like one person has quit, rage quit, so 19 cars. Alright. Quite comfortable here, but I'll do. you, Jonathan. We'll try one more time here. Yay, the same thing happened to him. It happened to me. Terrible. Oh, the car's gone wide. I think there's a crash behind me as well. We're up into 10th. That's alright. And relax. Too far offline there. And the sportsmanship down. I was a horrible driver. That's right, let him by. Okay, so I've learned the deficiency of this car. It has poor top end speed on the straights. Unlike the other car, which had great top speed, this one has none. Doesn't matter though. No top end speed, and this guy's probably going to overtake me on the straight, so I'll let him by if he does. Oh, here he comes. Let him go. No, we've got no top end speed. Not enough. And unfortunately, the braking zones on this car are quite long, so it's very difficult to outbrake people. I've noticed it's quite sort of understeery into the corners. Funny that, I suppose it's like some cars are just better at sort of qualifying than they are in the actual race, I guess. Either way, It's a long race. Where are we? Lap 3, so a long way to go. Oh, this doesn't look good, this situation. I think there's going to be trouble. Everyone's getting a bit impatient. Does not get out of that corner very well at all. You can see how every time I get to that corner I'm at a bit of a disadvantage because it sort of hangs out there. Wow, what's going on up there? Did you see that? Oh my goodness. Wow, my goodness. That was no. He's slowing down. Okay, so we're going to try and close on these guys if we can. Can't get the speed out of that corner. I'm still trying to find some speed. Lap 4, and I'm really hoping these guys just take each other off in a big way. So that's my only hope, because they're very quick. This guy behind me is much quicker than me, so I'll probably just let him by if I think he's going to cause me too many hassle, because frankly I think we're just going to end up slowing each other down rather than getting anywhere, but see how we go. Hi JD, Team VVV all day, absolutely. What car are we? We're in a BMW, Mr. Stone. BMW. Let him go. Go on in. I just don't want to get into a fight with him. That slowed us down a lot, didn't it? That he didn't quite take the initiative in quite the way I'd hoped. It's going to leave me vulnerable now. Oh. No, you're not coming past. Can't get any speed off that corner. Here comes another guy going past me. What a bad race car this was. What a bad race car. It's giving me a boost. Thank you. Go on, let's pit them. Let's pit. We haven't done a pit strategy yet. Let's pit. I wasn't going to, but I thought, hey, let's try it and see what happens. Yeah, so we pitted and we're away down, but 10th place, 4 places above where we started. Okay, that wasn't quite what I had in mind, and he gets no penalty for that. Wow. So, not seen someone get away with a bash like that in a long time. Well, that's really kind of ruined my strategy here. He's going to... I think he's a bit of a dirty driver, this guy, so we're going to be careful. Got good speed. See how he closed the door there? That would have been... If I'd taken my line, he would have taken me off then. So I've got to be careful. It's a real shame he got in my way. I think we've got more speed. I mean, look at all the cars ahead. I mean, that's half the field just on the track ahead of me. We're blocked here, which is a real shame. Just don't want to cause a crash, you know. It's too unpredictable. moving in the braking zones a lot, and that's making it really difficult for me to find an area where I know. This is not an overtaking spot. It's not an overtaking spot, mate. My last lap was better than my qualifying lap. It's typical. Waited for a long time there for that moment. It slowed us right down. Oh wow, the tyres have suddenly gone on this car actually. That guy's quicker than me behind me, but he's closed up a lot. Might do me into braking, so you can get within half a second. Parking it on the Apex. I'm not going to let anybody buy them. Oh well, that's okay. I'm not disappointed with that. 12th to 8th, given the drama in that race. It's just about keeping your head when everybody else loses theirs to an extent, and that was quite an enjoyable race actually. I think I'm the only person in the M3, is it? Yeah. Yeah, it was okay. The car felt nice. It's just a shame that it was just so slow down the straights because I lost all my positions down the straights. The tyre wear on that BMW was terrible. Yeah, terrible tyre wear. So that's about it for tonight's races, unfortunately, isn't it? It's I quite enjoyed that as a racetrack racing, rather than qualifying. I didn't really have a chance to put in great laps in that race, just because of the nature of it, in terms of there was always somebody in my way, which sort of slowed down. And I don't even know how to talk to people on here, but love it. I don't know how to chat. Let's carry on. Let's carry on. Yeah, no, I think that's basically it. And I thought that was interesting in terms of how races go, and they're all done now, aren't they? That's all of them. Are they doing it tomorrow as well? Oh, that's the next race. Is it Brands Hatch? Well, let's just take a look at what the next race is then. Oh goodness, it's a single make, is it? We'll have a look while we're streaming, just at the oh, what is it? Aston Martin DB3. Okay. Let's just have a look at next week's race and see if we can get our head back into gear. I mean, I wasn't really prepared this week. I mean, to be quite frank with you, I didn't even know what car I should have driven, really. Obviously, I picked a car that wasn't necessarily the one. Oh, I don't know if I have enough money. Let's see if I've got enough money to buy it. What? 10 million credits. 10 million credits. They're having an absolute laugh. Absolute laugh. Well, no FIA race for me next week then. I mean, I've got like 500,000. I'm not sitting here grinding. That's just unbelievable. That is a real sort of, you know, bummer, I think, for a lot of people who play Gran Turismo, because they're basically saying you need to pay for the car to enter the race. That's what they're saying. You need to pay for the car. Nobody's got 10 million credits hanging about, honestly. No average player. Well, I am really disappointed. I like Brands Hatch, and that is a real disappointment. Damn. That is well, that is unbelievable. That is absolutely unbelievable. 10 million. You can only buy with in-game credits. Oh, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, I mean, that is just the most stupid decision I think I've ever seen Gran Turismo make, honestly. What is the point? What is the point in trying to do these FIA championships? I mean, so far last season they picked the McLaren. It was 3.6 million we all had to save up for. No, you can't, Mr. 30. I saw that. 10 million credits. You think, what's the point? I mean, half the drivers out there are not going to have the money. That's just rubbish, honestly. Well, what can I say? It takes me a day to earn 1 million. If I put my mind to it, I can earn 1 million a day. So I ain't gonna have enough money for it, because I haven't got like 10 days to earn that kind of money. That's a real bummer, isn't it? That's a real bummer. So we won't be doing the next Nations Cup race. Instead we're going to have a look at the manufacturer race. Let's have a look at that. I didn't see what okay, against a track I don't know at all, but we'll have a look just to see what it's all about. You know, to be honest, today I didn't get great points, but I was pleased with the racing today. I think that they were good races. I didn't make any mistakes in my races. That race I got taken out, but I don't think I made any mistakes, and I think that's what's good about my races. All three of them were trouble-free. as usual, I might add, I don't normally make mistakes in racing. I will just keep pimping the podcast coming back this week. If you've enjoyed it, we've improved the audio slightly as well on it once we record that. Let's take a look at this course. This is not a course I know at all. Is this backwards? I think this is backwards. Okay, great start. You know, let's just, you know what? Let's just retry because there's just no point in starting with it. It's very difficult driving with a wheel because my real wheel rotates at a different level to the in-game wheel, which rotates far further than mine, which is interesting. Can't drive with that, it's impossible. Impossible. It's something they need to fix so badly. Where is the next corner? Is it a left or a right? Okay, this is going to be a learning experience. Well, we'll see. I don't think I've got to learn this circuit. I think if the circuit clicks, I might do the race, but if it doesn't, I won't. Because it's a lot of learning to learn a big circuit like this. It's been hard enough learning that Mount Panorama circuit. I'm still not comfortable with it. Still 2 corners on it that I'm not happy with. That's a big corner then, so I'll have to remember that one. Over the bridge. Going left or right, I have no idea, slowing down. Okay, and turning around here. And this is a lot to learn. Now that guy was saying about tyre wear. It was about tyre wear. I think unfortunately that BMW didn't work too well on its tyres. So whereas the Corvette was better, much better on its tyres. This is a long circuit to learn, isn't it? Long circuit to learn. I'm doing exterior view just to give me a view over the bumps and humps because I can't quite see because there's so many blind crests. Okay, that tactic didn't work, did it? Oh, it's going to be a pain learning this new circuit, isn't it? I think this is backwards though. I think this is we're doing it in reverse. So a lot of these circuits are really well designed in when you do them the right way round, but it's probably flat out through there. Doesn't feel as quick from this view, does it? Always feels so much quicker from inside the car for me. Playing a bridge like this kind of reminds me of something out of Drive Club. I should play some Drive Club again at some point. And maybe some PC gaming. I'm trying to get my PC set up to play games at the moment. There's so much to learn on tracks like this, isn't there? But then what happens is, I find, is that you do some laps and you force yourself to learn it. And then you go to bed, you get up, and the next day it's like your brain just learns it all while you're asleep. And it just suddenly all clicks. Didn't remember that corner though, did I? Yeah, I would prefer if they'd use real life courses a lot more on some of these races. Okay, can't carry as much speed as I thought in there, but let's try one more time. Let's try one more time. Well, I do like the classic Gran Turismo tracks. I do like the classic Gran Turismo tracks. But, so many tracks that they could bring into this game that aren't here. Including some of the city ones they created, like Rome and stuff like that. Gradually learning it, aren't we? We're gradually learning bits and pieces. Too early, but we'll learn all that. Okay, well, we might have a go at this instead. So maybe I can do it in fourth gear, not third. Oh, I wasn't looking. That might work there. Wider going through there. Trying to break the toe. Well, I find that I tend to turn the Ghost on and off Mr. 30, when I'm racing, because sometimes it helps me. I'm actually someone who much prefers racing to time trialling. Time trialling bores me, and that's why I'm not that great at qualifying, because I just don't enjoy it, basically. You know, whereas when there's a race and there's a car for me to follow, I just find I'm able to push that bit harder, and I tend to do much better lap times in races than I do in when I'm practicing just on my own. I just find it gives me something to aim at. I've got to beat that scumbag. I've got to beat him. Last lap of practice, guys. I'm going to try something strange here, just for laughs. Didn't work. Got that completely wrong. Completely wrong. Broke way too early. Well, darn. I'm just going to block him. I'm going to weave. Right, don't weave, you lose a lot of time. There's a lot more speed to find. I mean, probably your top drivers are going to be doing like 217 or something like that. You know, they're probably in another league. Oh well. Bye-bye. But we got loads of time to find. We got lots of time to find. We'll have a break there. I've enjoyed the map panorama tonight. I'm just going to have a quick look at the replay. Because why not? Why not? Just have a quick look at it before we finish off. And see that as well. Let's see. Back out. So it's a shame about the Nations Cup next week. I have to admit, I kind of feel that's a really sort of silly thing to do from Polyphony and from the organisers. I really do think that to cut out, you know, 90% of racers, I can't believe many people out there have 10 million credits to spend on a car. I mean, that is just a ludicrous amount. Even if I had 3 or 4 million, to try and save 6 million in that time is crazy, you know, crazy. Those of you that play Gran Turismo will know earning 10 million in 3 days, it's just not possible. Just not possible. That was my only one picture there of the VVV thing I knocked together. Right, let's see, replays. Lots of replays on here, isn't there? Lots. I'll have to start deleting replays actually. Have a look at it anyway. So I spun out on the first corner earlier when it gave me control, and in every single race the person who started in 10th place spun out on the first corner. Wow, really poor from Polyphony actually having that. They should have a space in the grid, if anything, to account for that. That's no good at all. They need to fix that. That's really unfair on the people starting there, but it is quite funny when you know it's going to happen and you see it happen to other people. So there is that as well. Let's have a look at I didn't record the first race, this was the last one. It's good to see a bit of action. Well, that guy's just said the point there. The points in the lobby aren't going to be that high, comparatively speaking, because so many top players aren't going to be in there. I kind of wish there was another race on this tonight, because I would like to have. I felt every time I was learning a lot doing this race. I didn't necessarily get the results I wanted, but good experience. So that guy span out. He didn't last long, did he? That's me. So I'm working my way up then. 10th place. I felt good at the start, didn't it? And relax, I said when I got to this point. So now you relax into your drive, and that guy went off. I had to go through his ghost. He was trying to block the way there. His ghost came back the second I went through. Wow. Wow, wow, and wow. But his Mustang had mighty speed down the straight. And you know, that really was the car, I think, to have on this track, wasn't it? I spent a lot of money on a car the other day, wasn't it? 1.9 million I spent on the Ferrari F50. So I lost a lot of money there. 10 million though, I mean, what a crazy amount of money. Flash says you kind of prefer, I preferred the sort of stable solidity of GT. It just, everything works really solid. And for all the moaning we do about the penalty system, it's largely very good. It keeps people in control for the most part. It's not perfect. One of the problems this BMW you see here is that's where I got the rate down, because we just touched there slightly. Not much you can do on that corner. The corner's only a slight one, but I can't outbrake people. This car just requires longer braking zones than everyone else. So at times like that, it's better to just let people by, because otherwise they're only going to crash into you, slow you down, take you out. You know, you've got to recognise when to let someone go and when not to. So this first part of the race is very much about let's just, you know, do our best. Oh, actually, hang on, I've just realised there's a switch wrong on the mic. Let's just move that there. I think that will help a little bit with the mic. And move it a bit closer, actually. Closer to the microphone. Yeah, just keeping your head while everybody's overtaking you is the main thing here. I'm aware that everyone's close. That guy behind me, there's no overtaking spot around there. You may as well just calm down a bit. Take your line. You know, I'm in my own little battle, so kind of felt closer, but he was really close to me there, wasn't he? But again, there's no way through, so you may as well just wait till the time comes. Give me a little bump there to let me know he was there. This is good. Yeah, unfortunately this car was, not only was it bad on the straights, Flash, it was bad under braking. It was really long brakes, and when you're turning in low speed corners it would understeer. So it was a strange car. And you can see here again, you know, guys like this is driving past me. There's nothing you can do really. Tried to hold on, but then I knew if I was neck and neck under braking, I just Look at the difference it makes under braking. Wow. And these guys are gone. Even though over the lap I'm quicker than these guys, when you're racing, you don't want a quick race car. It's very different to a quick qualifying car. And that's what we've got here, is we've got a qualifying car that I did a bad qualifying lap in. But you know what, I think to be in 11th place at this stage of the race and finish, what do we finish, 8th, something like that? Quite pleased actually. Especially when you look at the field spread. I mean, the field spread is actually quite low, and we're all very close here. So it's all to race for. You know, it's funny. Mr. 30's message came up about pit now, and it came up just in the nick of time. And I just thought, you're right. Let's pit. Let's do it. Yeah, I mean, like you were saying there, Mr. 30, I mean, 400k for an hour's racing. It's going to be 24 hours to get 10 million. Yeah, that's literally it. 24 hours of racing to get 10 million. I mean, that's just lunacy. Well, I'm not going to do that. So I'll do the manufacturer cup just for a laugh. I actually would have done okay in that race the other day. Actually, the first one, but alas, with everything that happened, I wasn't in the mood to race the other day, and I would have done much better in that Nations Cup race as well. But I don't know what tracks are to come. I think it shows you. We'll have a look in a moment at the upcoming races. It's just hi Alan, thanks for that. I'm doing my best here, just sort of avoiding people. I think a lot of the time, like that guy there was a bit of a ghost for a moment. So thankfully he didn't just turn in and block me, and I'm trying to keep with these guys if I can, but so, you know, everybody's racing really hard here. I'm always impressed at the skill of everybody. You know, we're all doing our bit here to try and hang in there. Everybody's going quickly here. It's not like, will you also play Forza Horizon 4? I will get back onto Forza Horizon 4, Alan, I will. It will. I might do it soon actually. And people are asking me to play Forza. No, people are asking me to play Forza Motorsport 4 as well. Forza Motorsport 7, and I might have a look at that one of these days as well. This Gran Turismo thing's has gone on longer than I intended to do. That BMW, who do I think I am? Ben Green, Tim? Yeah, it's Ben Green's 21st birthday today, and I thought, well, I'll do a bit of BMW, just in the sort of Ben Green colours, as it were. See how I get on. The car was fine round corners at mid-speed, but was rubbish down the straights and rubbish under braking. So I've got a bit of space now somehow. A bit of space. This Doug guy goes past me in a moment, just because he has a car that goes faster in a straight line. Feels like DRS almost. You know, there's no defence. Car sort of lost it a bit there on the exit. I was pushing so hard to try getting on the power. It does, Jonathan. I'm going to take a look at some of the tracks in a moment, actually. Yeah, Nürburgring is always a good one. 6 laps would be epic. I would like that in a fast car. Not in a slow car. A fast car to nail it round, like we did recently in that. Whatever that GT Super GT GTR car was great. The funny thing is, I'm actually really disappointed in terms of the points, but not in terms of the results for these races. Cossia Foyle said to be playing GT Sport Championship on the 20th, is that? And the Manufacturer Series after that. You know, it's a shame that they're both on the same night. I think it would be really great if the manufacturers, like they did nations on, or manufacturers on Tuesday, nations on Wednesday. Or whatever, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It would give you the option of, racing in both. Because they're both on at the same time, it just doesn't. Oh, hit the wall there. I made a mistake. Something took my attention away and touched on the wall. But then that guy tries going through, and I broke late there, really late for this car, and managed to hold on by braking with the gears. This car wasn't good on this next section. It would go wide here and slide around a bit, just understeer through this section. I had to sort of stab the brake to get the car to turn in, and then, like as ever, just look at it. It's like sitting duck. I just stayed to the side. Actually, he's holding on well here. The guy's getting a bit more slipstream. So let's see what happens here. I'm in a defensive line. No, I'm taking my line. I'm saying no. I'm taking this corner this time. The guy's having a little bump and a little look behind me. It's like, no. And it's always good to watch a race afterwards, isn't it? Because you see, it all looks so different. Oh, this is where I'm going to the pits now. Look at that, exciting. And now we're really going to see how we go. I thought it was Johnny Adams GT driver in the chat there. Now, exactly, kind of annoying to have two tracks focused back to back. That's right, never mind. 40 for the first. How long have I played? I've only been playing Gran Turismo since December, so in terms of properly playing online, but I've really enjoyed it. I think what it is, I've not actually played any racing game for more than a few weeks for a long time, because what I've always done is gone from the newest game to the newest game to the newest game, and that's all kind of changing a bit now, because it's harder to get hold of the games than it was. It's harder to get the access that I can work with. Oh, that's what the guy just decided to barge into me there. It was slightly unexpected there, because he was a long way behind, and only by barging me could he get through the corner there. And then that was a bit of a disaster for my race, actually, because then I spent the next 3 laps just trying to get past him, basically. So I'm in 11th. I'm still amazed I ended up 8th after all this, As you say, it was a hectic drive, wasn't it? What a race. Down the hill. Trying to stay as close to this guy as possible. I was not happy at this point that he had just barged in there. I kind of thought that was ungentlemanly conduct. Because we could all do that. We could all brake late and rest on another car, old school style. It's not the way to do it. But he did get a penalty. It was the thing that surprised me for that. So I'm trying to slipstream a bit. And I'm thinking, you know what? His tyres aren't that great. So this was giving me more speed down the straight than before. But then as soon as I got to the braking point, gave him space. Look at that. And just could not get on the brakes quick enough. And then he turned in, whether I was there or not. So that was, I knew that if I took my line there, that it would cause problems. And this guy broke very late, I think, didn't he? No, I know someone barges into me, don't they? So I know the situation now is I've got to sit behind this guy and try and find a way around him. I'm much quicker than him. I might not look at you, but I am. I'm just trying to figure out, what am I going to do? Where is he slow and I'm quick? But I need a clean overtake. And to be fair on him, he didn't barge me or anything. He was very aggressive taking his line. But he required me to yield to keep his track position. Had it been anyone else, I think he would probably have been off a few times. If I'd been an aggressive driver, he'd have been out of the race, because he keeps turning in on an apex when he's on the outside. It's never a good thing to do. Just don't do it, kids. Don't do it. It's always going to end bad for the car on the outside. You can tell by all that. So just trying to keep with this guy through there. He was quick through that section. but I was quicker through this section, you can see. Now, there is something when you're chasing people, and this is something a lot of racing guys don't always follow either. You kind of want to, don't want to follow too closely, because if you're right underneath somebody, sometimes they can make a mistake through that section, and you can't avoid it at all. So you're always sort of keeping your options open, having a little weave, because you can also end up unsighted into a corner. It's very easy to end up unsighted on this course. Things come at you quickly, and you need to see your brake markers. If you miss one, you're just going to end up going off. So sometimes I'll lift a bit to give myself space. Trying again here, but braking as late as I can. But you see how he just cut in on me there? And I knew that would have just been curtains for both of us then, had I stayed on it. So we're going to try again. And as I say, what goes through my mind whenever I'm in a race like this, I'll mention it time and time again, is David Coulthard behind Enrique Benaldi at Monaco. 44 laps behind the arrows. Very frustrating to watch. Must have been like something like 2000 or something. And I always remember that race and thinking, come on David, get past him, do him, he's so slow, he's messing up your race. And he had, and even Brundle was saying, oh, I'd have gone for it by now. But you know what? He ended up 44 laps in. Suddenly Benaldi went off somewhere. He got a clear track, and wow, did he fly! Things happened left, right, and centre, and he ended up, I think, near on the podium, something like that in the end. Wherever. It was incredible, and it just showed that sometimes you just got to weather that storm and just keep on. Thanks, Cozier foil, if I've got that right. You just weather that storm and then keep going. So 8th place. You see, people have been making mistakes and they've been pitting and all that jazz. So we've been putting in laps that are not terrible, just not great, because this guy's right in our way, slowing us down. And it's causing a bit of a train now, isn't it? A bit like Michael Schumacher in Hungary in 1997. You've got to do your Damon Hill overtake moment, haven't you? And we're gonna try again now and see if we can overtake again. We've definitely got more grip in the tyres at this stage. We haven't got more speed, we've got more grip. The balance of power is a little bit off from the BMW in terms of down the straights. And trying again, braking late, but he goes off, outbrakes himself this time, and he gets back on the track. He thinks about blocking me off, but then he realises no, and I turn into the corner, and then bang, he takes me out, yeah, I think I lost that position, didn't I? Lost that position, unfortunately. That takes me down to 9th, and it kind of finished my race to an extent, in the sense that I might have been able to get higher in the points had that not happened, but he was determined he wasn't going to let me by, wasn't he? Cyclist, yes, another easy circuit today, easy peasy, and Mr. 30's got his old stories about Shotput. That's brilliant. Back in the day, right? I was rubbish at Shotput, I might add. It just wasn't my sport. No, I can't remember what I was talking about now. It's completely blown me. So, hang on a minute. So, Jonathan competed in London 2012. That's brilliant, Jonathan. I wasn't aware of that. It's fantastic. I visited 16 events at the London Olympics. I'm a big sport fan, so I went to a whole bunch, and it was brilliant, the Olympics. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I was at the closing ceremony for the Paralympics. I went to a whole bunch of Paralympic events as well, stadium, all kinds of stuff. It was all good fun, great atmosphere. Actually, went to hockey as well, boxing, went to rowing. Rowing was a great atmosphere, fantastic. Boxing was great as well. I remember there was this boxer who was boxing for Thailand, and he had like 5 guys from Thailand who'd come over, and they were the only 5 people clapping for him. And then some guys went, "Come on, Thailand!" And then the whole audience started clapping with them. Thailand, Thailand. It was brilliant. Just the atmosphere of it. great atmosphere, wonderful event, never to be seen again. It was the best Olympics you'll ever have. And keeping ahead here in 8th position, blocking that guy on the final corner there, I wasn't having that, and bring it home. So I think all things considered, that was a measured drive, you know, and risks could have been taken. We could have ended up higher up the order, but it all went wrong in qualifying. Again, that was really what spoilt it. Better qualifying would have meant a better result. In hindsight, the Corvette not stopping was the best strategy of the day. There's no doubt about that. Now Mr. 30 needs a comma in that sentence, just because it's trying. Sometimes when you're reading a sentence, it's like, so yeah, I really enjoyed the Nürburgring races the other day. I mean, these were really good fun, actually. Let's just have a little look at that and go on to that. Just sounded a little bit louder on the replay, I noticed there, so I'm just going to turn it down ever so slightly. And these were good races last week, or a couple of weeks ago, on the last exhibition series for the FIA. But yeah, so GT Sport, I played it quite a bit. It's been a good tester for this wheel. I've been talking about reviewing this wheel for about 8 weeks, and I really need to get it finished. But the review is the same as every other Fanatic wheel. I've already actually reviewed this base. I haven't seen the Brabham BT62 going around Bathurst. No. I've watched a fair few cars over the years going around it. I mean, I think, you know, probably 20 years ago when I first saw, you know, back in the 90s when I first saw the Australian touring cars, and I'd heard of this Mount Panorama circuit. I thought, what's this? And I watched the race and was absolutely blown away by it. I couldn't believe it and how fast they were. And I just turn this down a little bit. It's quite loud in they are quite loud cars. And I couldn't believe, you know, the speed around Bathurst in terms of the power of the cars, the way they looked. And I watched them also going round Adelaide, the old Adelaide circuit F1 cars used to be on. Oh, look at that action start there as well. I should have won this race. I was very disappointed with myself for getting the strategy wrong. I was a bit messed up at the start by this guy with his connection, and I was having to lift and avoid where he was. I couldn't quite determine where he was on the track because he would teleport, which was causing problems. So I thought, let's just try and keep it sensible and just hope for the best. That was pretty off-putting. Still impressed with the graphics on this. But yeah, I haven't played many other racing games for a while. It is a bit more difficult getting some of the new games now. Everything's so controlled now with new games, and you know, who gets to see them. You can see that I'm actually inside him. That's not a good situation either there. I couldn't see where I was going, I might add, at that point. So that was tricky. And then he goes off here. He makes a mistake, I think. There he goes. That's it now. So that's the end of him. Other people getting messed up now by him. This was great. This was a race I should have won. I was on it with this car and this track, and didn't know the correct strategy at the time. I now do, of course. And if we do it again, I would have won this race comfortably. But, I did enjoy this race. This is a really, really good race. This Nürburgring race. I was on it, and at this point, I'm way quicker than the guy in front. I mean, I'm not even pushing at this stage. But unfortunately, I pit stopped halfway in this race, and you shouldn't have pitted. So it's one of those things. So I was just going to say, Mr. 30, rugby was your game. It's funny actually because I know people who wanted me to play rugby. You know, they look at me and they say, you know, you're as tall as Martin Johnson. You could be giant. We'll train you up. You'll be massive. So I would have been ideal for it apparently with my height. But yeah. It's like anything, isn't it? Really, it's a mindset with racing, Jonathan. It's funny when you listen to a lot of racing drivers; they're actually quite calm people. And I always think of Nigel Mansell's the worst. And my Nigel Mansell impression is always like, oh well, you know, Ayrton was on the inside, and I thought it might be worth having a go, you know, having a go at overtaking, and I thought, well, we'll try it round the outside then. 198 mile an hour, done him on braking, yeah. And it's just the man had nearly died, you know, in a race, going at incredible speed, gets out the car, you know, so relaxed, it's unbelievable. And it's the same with a lot of racing drivers. It's a lot of it's about relaxing and looking at the key details and slowing it down. And the funny thing is, I'm much more comfortable in a faster car than I am in a slower car, funnily enough. I just always like faster cars. I've always been more comfortable. So this type of car, it's much quicker. And I'm much more comfortable in it than I am in sort of slow car we were just looking at, basically. It is Mansell. It is Mansell. I've got a few drivers that I do impressions of, but it's like my impression of who is it? James Hunt. James Hunt. Go to James Hunt now. And James Hunt was always sort of very argumentative. So we move the mic closer for James Hunt. Of course. No, well, I disagree there, Murray. You can see how the car on the inside had the racing line. I think it's really important that one understands the car on the track and the correct racecraft here. And you're incorrect. Senna should have moved over. Mansell took the position quite right. And it's that kind of sort of precise way of speaking with James Hunt that he always had. When he wasn't swearing. We don't do that on VVV intentionally. but yeah, I love these cars on this track. This was great, and I'd like to do more of this. It's funny, I've never liked the Nürburgring, but I liked it in these cars. Now at this point, I changed my engine mode down to save fuel, thinking we won't stop. And then I realised that actually we should stop, and then I turn it up again, and I kind of messed up my race here because I was loads quicker than the guy in front. You know, I was like 10 seconds a lap quicker or something. It was stupid. So one of those things. Good points. Doesn't matter though. I mean, the championship ended, and I when he wasn't drunk. Exactly. in a way, it's funny. But the guy did the who was it? Chris Hemsworth played the part, and he does sound very much like Thor, doesn't he? There is that sort of Thor sound to James Hunt. Oh, well, I'm sorry, Murray, but one should always fight in drink, revel after battle. I think that was his mindset, actually. Revels, lots of revels. So yeah, I mean, in terms of lap times and practice, we'll get back to that on future videos. But one of the points I was getting at, though, is different games. I am going to be playing different games. I know we've had a season of Gran Turismo, but it's not going to be like this all the time. I am trying to get PC gaming set up gradually. It's not ready yet. There are technical issues I'm coming up with. I might play some iRacing. I'm looking at that maybe. Not yet, Mr. 30. For you to get to beat me, not yet, but I will come back to you on the open lobbies thing. There is planned. And am I Jimmy Broadbent's teammate? Alas, no, Stuart. But I'm looking at iRacing and thinking maybe I should get mixed in there with people. So I might do a test soon. My current setup doesn't have a clutch now. Normally it does, because normally I use the TGT or TSXW and the Thrustmaster pedals, but this F1 set doesn't, and in a way it kind of works for me because I like Formula cars, and so you're not using a foot clutch. And that's when I went in the pits, and that was a big mistake. That was a big mistake. This is the mistake that really ruined my race. On the next lap I come out in a sort of somewhat bad mood. I realise I've messed up because nobody else pitted. I was the only car that pitted in the race. So I've gone from 2nd to 6th, and luckily I had enough of a lead in that opening lap. I think the guy behind me was having a look at me thinking, oh, I might be able to get past him. And then he span out there. There he goes. So, you know, sorry I sound like him. Do I really? Do I really? I've got a radio voice. Radio voice, Stuart. Yes, it is all about mindset. And I think that you just relaxing and I always say to people, don't beat yourself. You know, and what I mean by that is that if you're crashing out and you're trying something new you don't normally try, the race is not the time to do that. When people sometimes say to me, you should do this or you should do that, I'm not listening to a word, because I know what I know for that course, and if that gives me a solid lap, then that's it. When you're practicing, different. I'll be listening to you guys all the time, you know, telling me things, I'm trying it out, seeing if it works, seeing if it doesn't. But when it comes to the race, you tie it down. Well, when I do the lobbies, guys, and my intention is to do lobbies, set some stuff like that. We've never done an online race with anyone I know. I'm doing an online race next week on something. I don't know if that's going to be on the Games channel or it might be on the Team VV Games channel only. Just testing something out. And we're looking at setting up a Discord as well, so we can chat to people and, you know, do more with Discord. Tim read on a forum, I do a captain, great Jean-Luc Picard. It's funny you say that, Tim. I do a great Jean-Luc Picard. I don't know if it will come over right on the microphone though. You need a picture of Patrick Stewart on the screen when you actually do it. I don't know if we can show a picture of Patrick Stewart on the screen. Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Enterprise. It's hard to do it with the cars going. Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Let's see. Let's see if we can do Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Enterprise. Stardate 244352. The Enterprise has entered the GT region. Gaseous anomalies have formed around the main star system, and the Enterprise is scanning for life forms. But however, and then blah blah. Just make something up. Anything you talk about will involve energy source, gaseous anomalies, unknown power surge, or something political. Romulans, Klingons, Ferengi. I like Star Trek, like Star Wars. That guy there broke early, didn't he? I remember him slowing me down for the lap, and I broke for the corner, and he just wouldn't get out of my way. And I was like, I've had enough of this. So I was a bit naughty there. It didn't happen. I didn't get a penalty. It was his fault. He had lost control. I just, you know, I was just there at the time. I was giving it everything here. Really, really flying in this race. On it. Enjoyed this. Many impressions. Captain Jean-Luc Picard. I did try doing Gandalf, but he was more difficult. Gandalf the Grey. Hey, so young Frodo Baggins. The One Ring to rule them all. You know, it's a bit like when you're doing sort of X-Men, isn't it? Charles. Old friend, it's good to see you. And of course Patrick Stewart has a way of saying mutants. Mutants. Logan. Logan, you must protect the mutants. This is where my mind is, people. It's broken with sci-fi and Star Wars. Talking of which, Night Flyers was released on Netflix yesterday, which is the new George R. Martin series. And I'm not that impressed at all with it so far. It hasn't really done it for me. It's you know, the actors don't seem to be comfortable in the parts. Some are doing a better job than others. It feels like a B version of Event Horizon in a way. Nice sets, nice art design. There's something about it that's lacking. There's a few irritating characters in there. Look at that, flying hard, pushing, giving it everything. Through the gears. I was into second gear for these corners. Just help me with wheel spin a bit. It's the third, I think. Let the car come to you. Late apex for this corner. Getting into that late apex. There it is. So you see, that's what you're aiming for. He lost it. It's really handy, that whole ghosting, isn't it? Because I love Event Horizon. Event Horizon is great. Saw Event Horizon at cinema the day it was released in the Empire Leicester Square, and it was really scary. Really scary. Cyclist does his accents in the morning. Oh, look at that! Nearly lost it. I was pushing so hard, just hitting the curb. I was pushing really hard. Smeagol. No, I don't do a Smeagol. Don't do a Smeagol. Draco. I am a Discovery fan for the first series. I enjoyed Discovery. I've got to catch up on the new series on Star Trek Discovery and see how it's developing. What I like to do sometimes is I'm a sort of binger. So I like to wait till there's several episodes there before watching it. I did binge watch The Punisher Series 2 last week, and I love The Punisher Series 1. I think The Punisher Series 1 is awesome. Awesome. But Series 2 is... I enjoyed Series 2 a lot. Not as good as the first series, but I still enjoyed it. I just felt they rushed the ending. I felt there was a part of me that said... we're closing down Marvel stuff anyway, so it's like they already knew when they were making it that they sort of rushed the ending on it. I think that's the only thing. So look at that. I managed to get all the way up to, what was it, 3rd place, despite a pit stop. First and second were just ahead of me there. Wow. Oh, I ran out of fuel at the end there, didn't I? I just want to see that. Let's just see that fuel. Doesn't show you the fuel, does it? I know the fuel was pretty darn low. They've removed the fuel gauge though, haven't they, apparently now, which is great, because you had to drive the whole lap with the fuel gauge, which was really rubbish. Need more likes on the stream. We do need more likes on the stream. Thank you for mentioning that. It's hard now trying to get anywhere with streaming, isn't it? You know, I think if I'd started this streaming like sort of 5-6 years ago, when I was a more prominent YouTuber, as it were, I think we'd have done really well. But there's so many sort of established younger streamers now as well, and let's face it, you know, a lot of viewers on YouTube are younger, you know, 20 years of age or something, you know. Only a couple of years younger than me, you know, but there you have it. It's so I enjoyed that. That was a good bit of racing. I am trying the PC thing at the moment. See, let me test something to see if it works while you guys are sitting there enjoying a bit of Radio Allen this evening. Let's just see if we can bring something up. If anything is going to work. Quite interested to see if any of this works for you guys. Just want to see what games I got that can run here. Don't actually have that many games on here in terms of setup with a controller. No, so I don't have anything set up right now, but I am trying to. It's a racing game because I've been playing a lot of non-racing games. Damn. Just having a look here. You guys can't see. I wonder if it works. Bear with me, viewers. I'm just going to see. I'm going to see if I can get a PC game working on. Obviously, the wheel's connected to the PlayStation, not the PC, so I can't do anything that involves a wheel on the PC. That would be pointless. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong section. I don't want to bore you guys with something that's not going to interest you. Just trying to think what you guys might like. Well, it doesn't matter, does it really? It's just me playing games. As Steve Benway would say, a smaller YouTuber who's out there doing retro games, I'm playing them so you can see what they look like. That's what I do a lot of the time. I'm just trying to see what kind of games. Hang on, let's just uninstall something here that shouldn't be there. I bought Doom the other day, Doom 2 for the PC. I was testing it out last night on a stream on Twitch, just from my Xbox. So people were tuning in thinking it was me playing a game, and it was, but it was just Doom. You know, because sometimes you don't always want to be on camera talking. You just want to do stuff. Just wondering what game to play while I'm talking to you guys now, actually. Do you know you have? Yes. So basically, Jeff, there's stream on the Team VV and Team VV Games channel when it's a racing game, and when it's a non-racing game, I'm streaming just to the you know what, I don't know if this is gonna work. This didn't work before, but I'm gonna try it. I'm trying something out, and this might not work, but if it doesn't, we can go back to Gran Turismo. Let's see if it works. Bear with me. Alright, let's see if we can get this working. No, that's not right. That's not right at all. See what we can do. Hang on. Oh, okay. That's a bit strange, isn't it? It's showing you, just trying to get a PC game working here, but it's showing you. It's showing. Oh, okay. So it's zoomed in on the screen and showing you only a portion of it. Hold on, bear with me, viewers. There we go. Okay, so we can actually. This is new, isn't it? We can actually have two games running at the same time. So if you're bored, I can actually stream both of them. That's new. Right, so what are we doing here? This is a game that came out last year, which was actually a lot of fun. It was actually a lot of fun, and it's a shame really that it got. I played through an early build. This is the final game build that obviously Kevin reviewed, and it was actually pretty good. I remember it having tremendous mud effects, and I really enjoyed the demo build that I had originally. What do we got here? Let's turn that off. Let's turn that off. Oh, auto brakes off. 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 Oh. Oh. Off. We'll have semi-automatic. I'm fine with that. None. Alright. Damage. That's fine. This was a good fun game actually last year. Redo the transform. Oh, what's that? Is that to do with streaming? Drackle. Now, Cyclist was just saying something there. Duke Nukem was mentioned earlier. Love Duke Nukem. Didn't get to play it as much as I would like though. A friend of mine had it. Redo the transform. Have I missed something there? Can you play both at the same time? I can try, can't I? I can try. You can have what do we got here? This is quite interesting because I didn't know this was even possible. So we are learning. We're going to come back to that in just a moment. And catcher. We're going to come back to that in just a moment. There's a little bit of mucking about there, but we'll. Oh, it messes this up when you do that one. That's interesting. I've not streamed any PC, you see. So let's just start race. And now, just this game was released on console last year, and on console, it's a bit rough on console because it doesn't run at 60 frames. But if you look at it now, running at 60, look how good it looks. How do you change view? Oh, not that button. I mean, just it's a bit slow because I'm streaming right now. I should probably drop the graphics a bit. But this game is great to look at. I mean, it's a real shame that it didn't. I've only got one graphics card, so I'm actually running my PC hard right now in running this on these graphics. But this was a great game to look at last year. And good fun, you know. Oh, good fun. This is one of those games that, like you say, didn't have a big marketing campaign, and people are sold now by marketeers, and I think that's why now it's like whenever they release a new game, it always sort of gets sold to everybody now with the same sort of big YouTubers that have got to tell you it's brilliant, so that kids actually buy a game now. It's like if a top famous YouTuber hasn't told you it's good, then it can't possibly be good at all. And that's kind of where we are now with the games world. I can see here you've got to get really oh, this is like those Australian trucks they have, isn't it? They have something like that Australian truck series I see sometimes around Adelaide. I forget what they're called now. I've watched a few of the races and they're great. Look at the way you can power slide the truck around the corner is great. Let's just get stuck in there. You've got to get stuck in. There's not enough laps to wait for people to make a mistake. It's a shame sometimes when games like this don't sell. But, you know, I mean, I would love to have done tons of preview content on some of these games. But, you know, just is what it is. You work with the access you've got. And this is a great game. This is a really good fun game. And I say to people, especially the PC version, fantastic. Let's have a look at the replay. Probably rubbish, but we'll look at the replay. There we are, a bit of replay action. Great looking game. Is that me just crashing at the start there? Yeah. Well, I think that's the point, Mr. 30, you know, is that it's all changed now, you know. It's get a big YouTuber to show off a new game, whether they like that game or that genre or not. You know, it's numbers, you know. So it's all about how many subscribers you got and all that. We'll talk about this on the podcast at some point. It's changing the way people look at a game they want to buy, really. So it's a bit like, I suppose, like Zoella does makeup, and so there's girls out there that will say, I'm going to buy that makeup because Zoella tells me to. You know, it's that kind of. Or when you see a famous person wearing something and then people go out the shops and they buy the same thing. Somehow my camera moved there. There we go. And it's kind of like that, really. But it's pretty quiet on the channel tonight. Pretty quiet on the channel. I think the gravel scares everybody away, sadly. But never mind. As I say, it's always very competitive on streaming now. We've got 20 people here watching gravel and a bit of Radio Allen, which is fantastic. That's great to see. Do you know, I saw someone say the other day to a streamer, he said, why are you streaming now? Because, you know, Jimmy Broadbent or Super GT or someone is streaming at the same time. You shouldn't stream at the same time as others. And I always say, well, listen, the people who watch your streams are the people who enjoy your streams the most, even when other people are streaming. You know, it's always nice to have a bit of choice, isn't it? You know, and I think that's the main thing about streaming. Mr. 30 is disappointed that Dirt 2 it has no VR. Yeah, I mean, it is an omission. I have to admit, I was kind of expecting an announcement for VR by now. And they haven't done it. So it's a shame they've not included VR in Gran Turismo. It is a shame. And I think that's VR. We just sort of Gran Turismo. New Gran Turismo didn't look too good to me. Didn't get a good review. Do you mean GT Sport, Jeff? GT Sport. And for people joining now, if they're a bit frustrated, yes, we're just having a look at something else, a bit of a break. Bathurst, 12 hours, drawing a lot of viewers, Alan. Oh, wow, yeah. I'll have a look at that. How far are they into the race on Bathurst? Bathurst. How far are they into the race? Oh, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. It's good to have loyal viewers. I had a difficult day on Wednesday, and I haven't been my best today. I've been let down by some people, and some things let me down recently, and it got me down, and so that's why my head wasn't in the right place for the racing on Wednesday. I did the stream because I always very much feel that the show must go on, you know, and I think when you look at VVV over the years, whatever happens in life, ups and downs, the show must go on, and that's why I'm here now. You know, I think it's good for you guys to enjoy a little bit of something different. Oh, I've just realised I might have just demonetised the stream, and I'm going to see if we can. Oh, I wonder what I was hearing. I'm hearing Gran Turismo. Hearing Gran Turismo. Hold on a moment, viewers. That's better. Okay. Okay, we're actually gonna continue that because it's covering the music at the moment. So here we have a little bit of, and this looks great on the PC. I mean, look how good the graphics are on the PC. You know, same with the Supercross games. I mean, they look great on the PC. I mean, but yeah, it's all changed in terms of previews, isn't it? I mean, we will do more previews as the year goes on. We're always working to try and get access to everything. And Kevin does an incredible job on the website. I mean, it would be great to get more of you on the forum. I know I keep mentioning it. I haven't been on the forum much myself recently, but it would be great to get more of you on there. Just supports what we do, really. That's the main thing. Oh, look at that crash. That was amazing. I don't know if anyone just saw that. These awesome graphics through here. Atmosphere. I mean, this game should have done well for Milestone, really, but again, they chose to market it the way they did, and And you know, that's that really. It doesn't matter how good a game is if I don't know where I'm going. If it's not marketed correctly, it's never going to sell, basically. 7 hours. Okay, so Bathurst's been running a long time then. I've been out of it. I've missed out on the streams. I've not been online much today, though. I mean, sometimes at the weekend, because I'm on all the time. I like to take a bit of time off the internet sometimes. Watson's in my way. Happy to say my PC's doing a good old job here, running the stream. Oh, as it's sticking a little bit there, but running the stream and doing the game and doing 2 streams at once. Oh no. Ah, well, that was that then, wasn't it? Right in front of the finish. 5th position. So that was that. Let's just proceed. I'm very sad. We do need to. Let's. Oh, we've got to just back out. What I am conscious of is backing out of this. No. Where is the game options? Where's the game? Is it that one? That one? Audio options. Come on, main volume. Alright, that's fine. Menu music off. Race music off. And main volume up. That's it. So now we can stop that in the background and we can. So yeah, I thought I'd just do something different while we're sitting here having a chilling out. And obviously we've got the Formula One. So a bit of iRacing I might do soon. Thinking about a bit of iRacing. I've got the Formula One career that I've wanted to do. I still want to do Formula One career. I'm just deciding what format to do it on. I'd like to do it on the PC, but it's like the frame rate here is skipping a lot while I'm streaming. So I don't know if that's a good idea or not in terms of doing that. It's difficult to say whether that's a good idea or not. These games are never the same without the music, but in the old days they used to make in-house music on a lot of racing games, like when I do the PlayStation 1 stuff, and you know, it was great. But now it's all, you know, third-party pop companies doing their thing, so it's changed the music that are in there. Doing a 70s F1 race in R-Factor 2 on my main screen, cars are a handful. They are indeed. They are indeed. Those guys were so brave. We'll just do this, and then what I'll do is jump back to Gran Turismo, finish off the stream there. Again, great looking game though. Of course, we've got our awards coming up soon, Team VV Awards. We're going to be announcing the nominations for those very soon. And then that'll be for games released in 2018. Represents all the racing games released in 2018. So myself and Kevin have been going back, and what are we at? Lohiak Rally track here. And it was great to go around this track last year. I did handbrake turn training around this track, which was good fun, with Thrustmaster, who was showing off their new handbrake. Hence, while we were learning handbrake turns in real cars on the real circuit. I'm happy to say they all went perfectly as well, but there's no video of it, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, but it's all changed in the world of previews, isn't it now? So, like you say, YouTube's taking over, and it's all very different. But like you say, we'll be back. We'll get some more previews as the year goes on, and we'll, like you say, the website still gets all the news on the TV website for keeping up with the racing games. I was being nice in that race. I could have actually been a lot rougher with them, couldn't I? The Grand Tour. Well, the Grand Tour will be in next year's awards. Bringing you the greatest spectacles. Right, let's do that one more time, because I was being nice, wasn't I there? Let's do it aggressively now and just bash people out of the way, and then we'll see how we get on. I mean, I am gonna do another video on the Grand Tour at some point, just the complete anthology of races, basically. The Grand Tour was, for me, disappointing. I was hoping for a lot more from it. You know, whether a game's cheap or not. I mean, it originally wasn't. It was meant to have been a proper video game. You know, they're lucky that someone internally made the decision to drop the price. Otherwise, it really would have got bad press. We're going to have to get hardcore on this guy, aren't we? Because he's just in the way. Time to get hardcore on him. Around the outside? Nah, it's not working. Oh! Oh, he's taking me. Scum. Scum. Oh, now we're definitely getting hardcore. Having this. You have to go up the inside in the final corner. It is the only way. Not that far inside, but alright, we just about did it. I just thought, hey, do I think there will be a gravel 2? No, I don't think there'll be a gravel 2. For the same reason that there's no sign of, for the same time, there's no sign of a Sebastian Loeb Rally 2. The only problem here is I don't have any control over the audio. So, I don't know if you guys can even hear the game. Of course you guys can't hear the game. I didn't realise that. There you go. It's different audio. I'm trying to find the audio settings. I've not used PC games on a stream, so this is a first for you guys, just to see PC gaming running on one graphics card, 1080. So yeah, will there be a gravel 2? No, I don't think there will be, which is a shame. You know, I would really like to see Sebastian Loeb Rally 2. I would really like to see that. Sebastian Loeb Rally had the worst audio. It really did. The cars sounded horrible, and it really let the game down. You know, but on the PC, again, 60 frames made a huge difference to the game. But this isn't bad looking at all. Not bad looking at all on the PC. It makes a difference. I mean, we're just looking at some of the details, some of the spot effects. Look at that. Not bad. Not bad. Nice little mud effects and stuff like that. Yeah, it's not a bad looking game. Not a bad looking game at all. Just a shame that Just a shame that it didn't. Well, they didn't market it well. So simple as that. Didn't get it out there, did they? And also Gravel. It's a rubbish name for a racing game, frankly. We'll talk about that again in the future. But Gravel. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's just like calling your game compost or something rather than dirt. It just doesn't work, does it? In terms of the overall setup. Now, I wonder if we can't test some of these right now. Oh, you need another star. Got to do that again. Oh, well, that's one of those things. Well, you know, we're going to skip back now to we're going to exit that, and we're going to go back to Gran Turismo, and we're going to continue, and then we're going to, what are we going to do? Oh, I can see the mic is in the way of the camera there. There we are. Lovely. It's the big circle thing that's in the way. There it is. Whatever it's called. And now, Cycler saying, interesting. I extracted sound samples. Too bad. I think the mixing is just terrible. Yeah, I mean, the sound in Sebastian Loeb Rally really lets it down. Really lets it down. That's the thing. And just a shame. One thing that people don't realise is that audio is affected a lot by the physics engine being used. When they change the physics engine in a game, it can break all the audio. So it's let's look at that. Now here we're just going to turn this one up now and turn this one down. So this is all new tonight. It's the first time looking at a bit of PC gaming on stream, and then pretty soon we're going to look at iRacing as well. Maybe we'll see. I'm not well versed on iRacing and R-Factor really. I haven't done iRacing for years. I stopped iRacing after just a few races because I got taken out in almost every race. And then what happened when you got taken out was you had to know how to teleport yourself to the pits, and then you had to know what buttons to press to make sure they didn't do anything to your car or something. And of course I didn't know any of that, so consequently, oh here we go, every time I went to the pits, I'd be in there for 30 seconds, I'd be 2 laps down and finish every race 2 laps down in last because I didn't know. And people would literally just take me out. I thought iRacing was meant to be a bit more professional than that. And then I'd get people having a go at me online a lot, saying, "Oh, you took somebody out. You were the bad driver." And I think, no, it's just genuine racecraft. And there was a real. You end up arguing with people who have no clue how to position or where to go for an overtake, and in the end it's just stress. So I'll play it and I'll see how I get on, but if it becomes stressful I will stop. That's the thing with iRacing. If it becomes stressful, I've not had any of that on Gran Turismo. Nobody cares enough. They're all enjoying the game. But I'm going to finish the stream now, guys. I hope you've enjoyed a bit of chat tonight. I hope you've enjoyed this little bit. I'm just going to close Gravel on my screen here as well. I hope you've enjoyed the stream tonight, a bit of Gran Turismo, and both the races. Really good racing tonight, and there'll be more from me later this week, including the podcast as well. So hello Speed Racer, and goodbye Speed Racer. Off now, just in time to say goodbye, and that's it for me for now. As our viewers, more soon.